I started watching this video, and then like 15 seconds into the video, I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna save this video for the live stream because this video will be perfect. This video will be perfect to watch live. Biggest winners, and you can see I stopped watching this because I was like, all right, I gotta save this for a live stream. Biggest winners and losers of the 2022 NBA trade deadline. Before he gives his takes, whenever he mentions a trade, before he gives his take, before Legend of Winning, before the legend of NBA videos, you know what I'm saying? Before he gives his take and before he gives his grading, I'm going to give my grading. You know?
Did you know that 85% of consumers look at a brand's reviews before making a purchase decision? Remove
leading up to this year's trading deadline. And as I normally do, here's my video. Not only.
Alright, let's check this out, though.
So, it's that time of year again. The time of the NBA season where a bunch of teams scramble at the last moment to try to make some trades and hope to either A, improve their current situation, or B, correct some mistakes that they've made in the months leading up to this year's trading deadline. And as I normally do, here's my video, not only wrapping up and giving you details of some of the major transactions during this year's trading deadline, but also giving my opinions on who are the biggest winners and losers, and even grading some of these transactions. But without further ado, let's get right in the video. Here are the biggest winners and losers in this year's trading deadline. First, let's start out positive, get straight to it, and talk about the trade that I know everybody...
Here's my take on this trade. And I know this is a very, very, very popular take, but both teams won this trade. Both teams got what they needed and filled gaps in their lineup that they needed to fill the most. The 76ers got a perimeter player that can shoot. He can handle the ball. He can play make for others. He can play make for himself. You know what I'm saying? He can create shots for himself. And this is probably the best guard-center duo we've seen in the NBA since Kobe and Shaq, if we're going to be honest. Like, tell me another guard center combo that was at the level that is at the level of James Harden and Joel Embiid right now. You know, even if James Harden plays how he plays this season, if you disregard the games where obviously he wasn't playing how he really plays because he just doesn't want to fucking be there, and he's just showing them, yo, I want to be traded. I don't want to fucking be here. You know what I'm saying? If you discount those games, if he plays how he was this season with Philadelphia, yo, I'm not gonna lie. Philadelphia looking scary. Philadelphia is looking scary. But then you go to Brooklyn. You go to Brooklyn, right? We're gonna stay with Philadelphia, right? I've heard some people say, oh, Philadelphia gave so much. They gave away Seth Curry and Andre Drummond. They gave away Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, and Andre Drummond for James Harden. Yo, their depth is looking crazy. Think about it like this, right? The 76ers still have the top 10 defense in the league without Ben Simmons. So their defense is still going to be good. Ben Simmons didn't fucking play all season. So really, if you think about it, they're really just trading Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and a couple first-round picks for James Harden and Paul Millsap and a second-round pick. That's a W. That's honestly a W. They traded Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, a couple first-round picks, and a distraction for James Harden, Paul Millsap, and a future second-round pick. That's a W for Philly. Now we go to Brooklyn. Brooklyn got what they desperately needed. They got defense, and they got probably arguably the most versatile defender in the NBA. When he plays, obviously, and Ben Simmons can guard 1 through 5 at a top 5 caliber level at all of those positions. Can play make at a top 5 caliber level in the NBA. Is one of the best finishers in the league. Is one of the best fast break transitional players in the league. I'm gonna just say this right now, though. Ben Simmons. If you're not gonna shoot, at least become a decent free throw shooter. If you're not gonna shoot the ball, at least make it so that you other teams don't want to foul you. At least make it so that, like, if they foul you, they're like, all right, he might actually score. But nigga, 36%. They got Andre Drummond. They needed Andre Drummond, probably Andre Drummond, Montrezl Harrell. Probably the two best backup big men. Probably the two best backup centers in the NBA. I'm giving the 70. Honestly, the 76ers, I'm giving them an A. And the Brooklyn Nets. Honestly, I'm gonna give the 76ers a B plus, just because they didn't get rid of a lot for what they got back. But a part of me does think that they could have gotten rid of a little bit less, just because everybody been knew that James Harden wanted to get traded. Everybody been knew that. So the 76ers could have been like, yo, y'all can keep James Harden, and y'all can stay in this cancerous, and y'all can stay having him on your team. But then it could have worked both ways. So I'm gonna give Philadelphia an A minus, and I'm gonna give the Brooklyn Nets an A. And
that's the Simmons and Harden transaction. The Philadelphia 76ers received James Harden and Paul Millsap, while the Brooklyn Nets will receive Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, this year's first-round pick that is unprotected, and a protected 2027 first-rounder. Now, I know many people want to hear a hot take about this transaction, but quite frankly, I'm fairly neutral.
Yeah.
I believe that this is one of the rare times that a team trades a top 10 player in the NBA, and they still came out as winners.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not going to give you my full thoughts on this transaction because the video will be way too long. However, I do plan to make my own separate video for it, but the abridged version is very simple. The Sixers in this transaction, though lost some depth and some draft assets, essentially traded away a player that they were receiving nothing for throughout the entire year, as Simmons' refusal to play for the organization had lasted all the way up to this year's deadline. And in return for that and some valuable depth, Philly just ended up with a top 10 player when healthy in James Harden, who not only fulfills the void in talent that the Sixers have been desperately needing.
I'm gonna give Philly an A, because they got a top 10 talent.
But also provides a level of shot creation at all three levels at an elite standard that certainly was missing from this organization, and has quite frankly held this team back from achieving a conference finals appearance and even further. What makes this transaction even better for Philadelphia is that they didn't have to give up Matisse Thybulle nor Tyrese
That's
Maxey.
a big W.
So because of
That's
those factors,
a big W.
as well as it being fairly self-explanatory, the Philadelphia 76ers are not only winners, but I do give them an A. On the other hand, we have the Brooklyn Nets, which may be a little bit more difficult to explain, but I'll try my best. The Nets are a team that has a roster that on paper looks amazing, but looking at it practically, it clearly isn't working out. As I record this video, the Nets not only find themselves with the 8th seed, but also they're in the middle of a 10-game losing streak. Now, this outcome is a result of several different factors, but the two that I want to pinpoint is A, the front office in Brooklyn made a lot of changes over the past couple of years, and in doing so, made an extreme commitment to an offensive-oriented team. Because of these decisions, even though on paper they were very talented, the roster was very shallow and lacked a lot of defensive presence. So when the injuries started to pile up and you have players like Bembry receiving north of 25 minutes on a game-to-game basis, the Nets being in a 10-game losing streak, honestly, isn't that surprising. And oh yeah, I just had to point this out as well. Kyrie not being vaccinated, which made him ineligible to play home games, also probably played a major factor to what just occurred with the Nets. Because of these factors, losing wasn't the only thing that was occurring out in Brooklyn. James Harden wanted out as well, and with him being on the last guaranteed year on his contract, the Nets really didn't have that many options. And honestly, I don't think the Nets could have done better than what they received from a top 10 player in the league.
And that's another reason why I give both of them an A, because while they're both in the same division, like they're literally both in the same division, and they both made each other better. I honestly feel like this is probably the best offer both of them could have gotten.
Because sure, they definitely take a hit in terms of talent, but in terms of what this team actually needed, they received it. They got depth. They essentially traded one player for three, and Seth Curry is an upgraded version of Joe Harris, and Drummond will provide an interior presence for a team that is trying to make a postseason run that more than likely will include them matching up against Joel Embiid and or Giannis Antetokounmpo. They also received draft compensation. This is great for an organization that gave up a lot of draft picks to receive James Harden in the first place, so receiving some draft picks works heavily in their favor, and it gives them some flexibility moving forward. And then, in terms of the elephant in the room, which has been Simmons, I know many people aren't high on him.
I still find that play
answer
crazy.
a lot of the questions that many people had about this.
Yo, I'm sorry. I still find this play crazy as fuck. I still find this play crazy as fuck.
And then, in terms of the elephant in the room, which has been Simmons,
Trae Young, my nigga.
I know
Trae Young.
many people aren't high on him, but he does answer a lot of the questions that many people had about this team, even when Harden was on the roster. He's young and hasn't had a consistent problem with injuries throughout his career. Due to his size, he's very versatile, and if there's one thing that we all know that Simmons provides to any team at an elite level, that is defense, something that the Nets desperately needed. Now, of course, I know many people are going to point out the same problems that Simmons had out in Philly. Won't they still carry over in Brooklyn? And that is fair. I don't expect Simmons to start shooting threes now. However, I do believe that this is a team that is more
he's not going to be
his playing style. And because of that, I give the Brooklyn Nets an A to an A-.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. This team is perfect for Ben Simmons and how he plays.
Up next, we have the Domantas Sabonis, Tyrese Halliburton transaction.
One team trying to get out of mediocrity and rebuild, and another team trying to get out of their pathetic rebuild and go into mediocrity.
Well, the Sacramento Kings yet again proved that they are.
That's all I'm going to say. Sacramento, I'm not going to give them a horribly bad. I'm not going to give them a horrible grade. Cause they got Sabonis, and they made some other trades as well. Like they traded for Dante DiVincenzo as well. So it's not like they just made this trade for Sabonis. But they traded Tyrese Halliburton, and I don't understand why. The nigga's in his second year, and I saw JJ Redick talk about this. You want to know any point guards that average, or any player that's I'll say point guards because I don't remember specifically. You want to know any point guard in NBA history that in his second year averaged at least 14 points, 7 rebounds, and shooting 40% from 3? I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do you know? Tyrese Halliburton. That's the only one. Y'all traded him in his second year. Tyrese Halliburton wanted to stay in Sacramento. He wanted to stay in Sacramento, even though I hate when I honestly hate when reporters ask, do you want to stay in? Like, what do you expect the nigga to say? Shit. Well, to be honest, I fucking hate it here. You know what I'm saying? This fucking Sacramento is not it. You know what I'm saying? I want to get the fuck up out of here. I wouldn't blame him because it's Sacramento, you know what I'm saying? But I'll give the Kings, for this trade, I'll give them like a C+. I'll give them like a C+. Especially because I know Tyrese Halliburton's trade value is high. So they could have gotten something better, I feel like, than this. And I went into Sacramento Kings space, and oh my god. Well, you know how bad it was? These niggas were trying to convince themselves so bad that they won the trade. They were talking about Justin Holiday.
The worst ran franchise.
Yeah, worst ran franchise is an understatement. Sacramento, I'll give y'all a C+. Indiana, I gotta give y'all an A. Indiana's executing this rebuild, or the beginning of the rebuild at least, like acquiring the picks and acquiring the young pieces. They're executing that perfectly.
In the NBA, where Indiana received Tyrese Halliburton, they are the worst ran franchise on this Tyrese Halliburton transaction, where the Sacramento Kings yet again proved that they are the worst ran franchise in the NBA, where Indiana received Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Tristan Thompson, and the Sacramento Kings received Montes Sabonis, Justin Holiday, Jeremy Lamb, and a future second rounder. First, we're going to start off positive. Indiana is an organization that really lacked a sense of direction. Ever since they traded Paul George, and Oladipo never really took off due to injuries. At best, this was a team that was maxing out as a first-round exit. Because of this, hitting the restart button.
I would say they maxed out. They maxed out as a second-round exit. First round, 7-game series. Second round sweep. That was their max ceiling, but that's basically the same thing as a first-round exit.
Bringing away a bunch of miscellaneous pieces was a no-brainer. But things drastically changed with this transaction. Now, Tristan Thompson is Tristan Thompson, and Buddy Hield, even though many people are mixed on his production, still is a quality three-point shooter in the NBA. But when it comes to Tyrese, you may not necessarily know what you're going to get out of him, but that honestly is a good thing. The ceiling for the 21-year-old guard is endless.
High.
He's a 6'5"
High as
shot
fuck.
creating
High
guard
as fuck.
who can play defense and is efficient at scoring the basketball. Out of the 93 players who have tried at least 300 jumpers so far this season, Halliburton ranks 6th in efficiency with an effective field goal percentage of 58.7. Out of the 49 players who attempted at least 100 off-the-dribble three-pointers, Halliburton ranks 2nd in efficiency, shooting 40.6% from deep. He's also converting 42.6% of his catch-and-shoot three-pointers. He ranks 11th in assists, 12th in steals, and he's only...
Yo, I want to say this right now. Legend of Winning, in my opinion, probably has some of the... in my opinion, Legend of Winning has the best basketball videos on YouTube. On his main channel, his second channel, he's always coming with just facts. Like, you can't really, and he's unbiased too. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he's gonna come with the trolling sometimes, you know, but he's unbiased. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with Legend, and his vids are W's too. 11th in assists, 12th in steals.
He ranks 11th in assists, 12th in steals, and he's only 21 years old. And I believe the biggest reason why so many people are optimistic about what Tyrese can do in Indiana is because within the 12 games that he played without De'Aaron Fox, he averaged 19 points and 10 assists on very respectable shooting splits. So yeah, he's that good. Matter of fact, the perceived value for Halliburton is so high that other franchises across the league didn't even think to call Sacramento to try to acquire him.
Oh God! Oh God!
Untouchable. So the fact that the Pacers were able to receive a lot of potential in a young asset without having to roll the dice in the lottery makes this a massive win for them, and I give them an A+. Now on the other end, we have
I gave them an A.
Honestly,
I gave them an A.
This has the potential of being the worst trade in the last decade.
Honestly, nah. Honestly, yeah. I'm gonna get them an A+. I'm gonna get them an A+, cause they got draft picks in other trades. And they got their young player that they can build around, like with OKC and Shea. You know what I'm saying? Shea is a player that they can build their team around. They're like, all right, we got these draft picks. Who can we trade for that can fit with Shea? Who can we draft that'll fit with Shea? You know what I'm saying? And build the team around Shea. The Pacers have a player like that. They have Tyrese Halliburton. He's not as good as Shea is right now, but he's someone that the Indiana Pacers can look forward to building their team around, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's very good for the Pacers to have.
Now, yes, it is true. On the surface, the Sacramento Kings did receive the best player in the transaction. Now, I would argue the gap between Sabonis and Halliburton isn't that wide. And after a year in marginal improvement, I would definitely believe that Tyrese Halliburton would be better than Sabonis very soon. But as of right now, it's true.
Give it a couple seasons.
Sabonis is a better player. And he does put them in a situation where they have a better chance of competing for a playoff spot. But see,
play-in spot.
That's the problem. In terms of Domantas Sabonis, we already know what his ceiling is. And it's maxing out at an all-star level. And if he is the best player on your team, at best, we are talking about a fringe playoff unit that will be knocked out in the first round. Which is something that I don't believe any team should be striving for. Because ironically, the Kings will just end up like the Indiana Pacers, where they'll be lacking a sense of direction and maxing out with first-round exits, and inevitably will be forced to hit the restart button.
What the fuck did I say? That's literally what I said before I...
believe there's
Preach,
no
brother,
on that
preach.
process, especially when you have a young prospect like Halliburton on your roster that has the potential to perform at an all-star and, dare I say, all-NBA caliber level. So because of all of that, the Sacramento Kings have to get an F-. Up next, we have in trouble.
Yo, I wasn't giving him an F minus, my nigga. I wasn't giving him an F minus. I would give him a C. I would give him a C. I don't like the direction. This nigga said an F minus, my nigga. God damn. I'll give him a C. Cause like I said, with a good team around them, they can make the 6th seed maybe at best. Like with a good team around Fox and Sabonis. But they might not even make a 6th seed. I'm not gonna lie. Like with a good team, that's not. I don't know.
Blazers, we saw a lot of change in their roster.
I know I said
As they interacted into transactions. The first one was the Clippers as they sent over Norman.
I'm gonna say this right now, and this is only the first Portland Trail Blazers trade. He might talk about I don't know. He might talk about the other ones. He might talk about the other Portland Trail Blazers trades, but I know I said the Sacramento Kings were the most pathetic, were the most incompetent franchise in the NBA. But Portland starting to, they're like, yo, like, you're really just gonna forget about us? Like, we're incompetent as fuck too. We can make dumbass fucking trades too. Like, nigga, what is this? What the fuck is this? And you're telling me that you want to rebuild around Dame. How old is Damian Lillard, bro? How old is fucking Damian Lillard, bro? Damian Lillard age. How old is this nigga, bro? You're telling me you want to rebuild around Damian Lillard, who's 31 years old. And y'all niggas traded Norman Powell and Robert Covington for Eric Bledsoe, Justice Winslow, Keon Johnson, and a second-round pick. That's pathetic. I'm not going to lie. That's pathetic. But the fact that they made this trade, I guess the Norman Powell, his value is not as high as I thought it is. I guess his value is just not as high as I thought he is, as it is. They got Keon Johnson, who I guess Keon Johnson and Anthony Simons you have for the future. But this is for the Clippers. I'll give them a B. Actually, I'll give the Clippers a B plus, because they got a good score. They got a Norman Powell for Eric Bledsoe, Justice Winslow, Keon Johnson, and a second round pick. Eric Bledsoe is Eric Bledsoe, baby Braun. Justice Winslow is Justice Winslow, let's be honest. And Keon Johnson is a young prospect who they don't need because they're trying to win now. And the 2025 second round pick from Detroit. So that's basically like a first, but they might be nice in 2025, so you never know. I'll give the Clippers a B. Portland, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna give y'all a fucking F. I'll give y'all a D minus at best. That was a fucking horrible trade for Portland.
Powell and Robert Covington. I love this transaction for the Clippers as they not only add some depth to their guard play with a quality
B plus, not B, B plus,
a little bit more versatility
B plus.
on the perimeter and Robert Covington. And on top of that, the Clippers didn't have to give up much of anything in return. Massive win for them.
Exactly.
Give them an A. The other team that Portland
I
traded
can
with
understand
during this
that.
trading deadline with the New Orleans Pelicans.
This is what I don't understand. Y'all niggas traded seeds. We going in on Portland. I don't give a fuck. Portland, bro. Portland. Why are y'all doing this to Damian Lillard? Bro? Damian Lillard has given y'all everything he has. And you're repaying him by making him suffer through this tragic ass fucking rebuild. This isn't even a rebuild. What are y'all trying to build? Like, what the fuck are y'all trying to build? Nigga, this is the teardown. This is a fucking we're doing a 2K. We're gonna do a 2K fucking. We're gonna do a 2K My League challenge where we just accept any trade offer we get. Damian Lillard's untouchable, but any trade offer we get, we're just gonna accept it. Like, what the fuck is this? And then y'all niggas traded Thomas Satoransky and Nikhil Alexander-Walker the same fucking day. Oh my god. Let's Portland, I'm gonna give y'all the fucking F. I'm gonna give y'all the F, bro. I'm gonna give y'all the F. Pelicans, I'll give y'all the B minus. Cause with Zion, that team, CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, and Zion, that's alright. But first of all, no one's gonna be scared of y'all defensively. Y'all get it, y'all. Jonas, I forgot about Jonas. Y'all better get something defensively. Because I damn for sure know Zion's not going to carry that team on defense. He's not going to want to have to carry that team on defense, fam. Because on that team, if Brandon Ingram can put fucking muscle on, and I know he's probably tried. He just has a fast-ass metabolism. I know, I'm not saying he hasn't tried. He hasn't tried to. But if Brandon Ingram can generally put like a little bit of weight on, he can be a pretty good defender. He has the length. He's pretty athletic as well. But without like their backcourt, if they have a backcourt of Devontae Graham and CJ McCollum, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. I'm not gonna lie. That's dangerously bad defensively. That is dangerously bad defensively. So I'll give the Pelicans a B minus, C plus maybe. I'll give them a C plus because they traded a 2022 first round pick. It's protected. I'll give them a B minus.
And again, I love this trade for the opposing team. The Pelicans picked up exactly what they wanted.
I'll give them a B minus.
Who has some scoring versatility while also being a quality floor spacer and three-point shooter, which would be a great complementary piece to put alongside Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. The only problem that I have with this transaction is how much money CJ's getting paid, which I know will be a problem for the Pelicans since they were attempting to avoid overpaying players during the offseason, hence the reason why they just allowed Lonzo Ball to walk in free agency.
Which is fucking crazy because y'all could have just traded a nigga. Y'all could have just done a sign and trade. Y'all honestly could have just done a sign and trade. That's crazy.
Nevertheless, though, the Hornets got
because y'all knew how many teams wanted and needed a player like Lonzo. Y'all could have just done a sign and trade and got something in return for that nigga, bro.
Exactly what they wanted without giving
something,
much up of
something.
Anything, which is why I give them an A minus.
When you're driving a Lincoln, stress seems to evaporate into thin air. Which
now you believe after moving CJ, Rocco, and Norman Powell that the Portland Trailblazers got something in return that is valuable.
Nope.
And no, they didn't.
They traded two of these niggas too. They traded.
Some of the highlights in these return packages for Portland is Eric Bledsoe, Justice Winslow, Keon Johnson, Josh Hart, and some draft picks that are protected, which is by far some of the worst returns I've ever seen any team receive for players of the caliber of CJ McCollum and Norman Powell. But if that is a perceived value across
horrific
player CJ, then it is what it is. Gather up all your draft picks and finally hit the restart button, something that many people have been begging this franchise to do for several years now. And if that was a direction that they were moving into, honestly, I would have given the Portland Trailblazers a C. Still losers in my eyes just because of the lack of return that they got for quality players, but a C. However, that's not what they're doing. According to Woj, Portland's plan is to fully reshape the...
Now, I don't remember if we went over this on live. I think we did. During the trade deadline. Why? Why? What the fuck are y'all gonna rebuild around Damian Lillard? Portland is hoping that someone is gonna go to Portland. Nigga, the only way Portland could have possibly gotten the star to play with Damian Lillard is if y'all traded for him. Y'all had to trade for him. Cause who the fuck is going to Portland? Y'all not getting nobody in the free agency. You're gonna get Bradley Beal. That's a slight upgrade. That's a fucking Bradley Beal's a 6'3". How tall is Bradley Beal? How tall is Bradley Beal? How tall is Bradley Beal? How fucking 1.91 meters. What is that? 1.91 meters to feet. Yo, this nigga's a 6'2". This nigga's a 6'2" CJ McCollum. Bradley Beal's a 6'2" CJ McCollum. Is that your plan? To get a 6'2" CJ McCollum? Man, y'all niggas tripping, bro. Nobody wants to go to Portland. Don't nobody want to go to Portland. Don't nobody want to go to Portland. I'm gonna call my mama right now. And ask her if she wants to go to if she would want to go to Portland. I'm gonna call my mama right now and ask her if she would want to go to Portland.
Yes, sir.
Hey, mama, I have a question. Just real quick. Would you want to go to Portland?
I mean, not top of my list, but eventually it's supposed to be really nice.
Nobody wants to go to Portland. It's Portland. I'll call one of my friends, bro. Hold on, my mom's calling me again. Hello? I'm on live and I'm talking about the trades. And I'm talking about how Portland is making rebuilding trades because I guess they want to. They're looking to get someone in free agency, and I'm trying to tell them that nobody wants to go to Portland, and that the only way they could have gotten the star player is if they traded for him. But that's too late. So, because who wants to go to Portland?
Nobody.
Exactly. So, okay, I love you. Done with that, man. So, who wants to go to Portland? Who? I'll call someone else. Caleb. I'm gonna call my nigga Caleb. And I'm gonna ask him. He's probably not gonna pick up. I'm not gonna lie. Probably not gonna pick up, but. This nigga not gonna pick up, I'm not gonna lie. Alright. Y'all get the point. Don't nobody want to go to Portland, fam. Don't nobody want to go to Portland. Portland probably takes the cake for the most incompetent. At least this year, bro. Because even in the offseason, they didn't make no trades. They didn't make no moves. And when they finally make a move, it's this.
Roster around Damian Lillard. Portland has created a $21 million trade exception and potentially $60 million in salary cap space in this upcoming offseason. Multiple drafts.
$60 million in salary cap space. Portland. The only way y'all can get players is by overpaying them. That's how y'all got CJ McCollum. By overpaying him. Y'all pay this man $33 million a year.
$60 million in salary cap space in this upcoming offseason. Multiple draft picks and assets from the Pelicans and Clippers trades, which then leads them to have a plan to pursue a high-end talent now rather than retreat.
With who? Y'all got picks, but who do you have left? Who y'all got left? You had Norman Powell. You had CJ. You could have traded them for some players that you could put in a trade for high-end talent. But who the fuck are you going to trade in your high-end talent? You're going to throw Josh Hart in the trade? You're going to throw Yusuf Nurkic with Josh Hart, the 2022 protected first-round pick, and some future seconds with Eric Bledsoe for who? Who you going to get for that? Who the fuck are you going to get for that? Pathetic, bro. Absolutely pathetic, man.
Multiple draft picks and assets from the Pelicans and Clippers trades, which then leads them to have a plan to pursue a high-end talent now rather than retreat.
I don't know.
That's stupid, guys. Is this camera on me? That's stupid. Use your common sense.
The idea that a high-end talented player would just voluntarily play for a small market team like Portland, even if they were going to be paired with Damian Lillard, is so far-fetched that I honestly believe that this is a lie, and I'm just of the belief that Portland is trying to just retain as much leverage as they possibly can when they inevitably trade Damian Lillard. But hey, since that's what they're telling us, that's what
either that, or I saw this on the Let's Keep It a Buck podcast, B-Souls. It's either this or they're just rebuilding in front of Damian Lillard's eyes. And they're like, you know what? Damian Lillard's going to stay with us no matter what. We know he a loyal ass nigga. This nigga a stupid loyal ass nigga, but he a loyal ass nigga. So he going to stay with us no matter what. We going to keep him because he going to sell tickets for us. But we going to still lose games with Damian Lillard. And you're not guaranteed the number one pick if you have the worst record in the league. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Why?
And I still don't like the play-in. I still don't like the play-in spot because I don't know.
They're not only losers, but I also give them an F. And finally, the last noteworthy.
Oh, I forgot about this trade. I literally forgot about this trade for a second. The Dallas Mavericks got hoodwinked, scallywagged. They got finessed. They got scammed. They got finagled. They got... I don't know what else to say. Why, y'all... Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans. I'm trying to stay with a straight face. Hold on. I'm trying to stay with a straight face. Y'all traded Porzingis plus a second-round pick this year for Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans. Yo, that shit has to be the feet. Why? When I saw this trade, I was like, okay, they had to be going for Bradley Beal. That's the only reason I could have thought. That's the only reason I would think. Oh, that's the only reason I would have thought why they would trade Kristaps Porzingis to the Washington Wizards for free Luka, bro. Free Luka free Luka, my nigga. Hold up. Free Luka, bro. Free Luka, fam. Hashtag free Luka. Hashtag free Luka, bro. I guess the Washington Wizards is just doing whatever they can to try and keep Bradley Beal. Because again, while Bradley Beal said he doesn't want to leave and he wants to stay loyal, what the fuck do these reporters expect these players to say? If they say anything else, they're gonna get crucified. Like, what the fuck? But I guess like when trades like this happen, it's like, okay, you gotta think like, why would they make this trade? they had to have tried to trade Porzingis to somewhere else. They had to have tried to trade him somewhere else, but they just didn't get nowhere near close to as good of an offer as this. But then that makes me think, what kind of offers were they getting for Kristaps that were like, all right, we're gonna accept Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans. That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Dallas, I gotta give y'all a fucking D. I gotta pause. I gotta give y'all a D. Like Spencer Dinwiddie has been playing so shit. We're gonna see. Y'all traded. Oh my god. Y'all traded. Oh, this hurts to look at. Bro. This hurts to look. Yo, just 2 seasons ago, just 2 years ago, this man was averaging 20 points, 3.5 rebounds, and almost 7 assists on 41. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. He was never very efficient. He was never really an inefficient nigga. So this is kind of just like, all right. I mean, yeah, but oh my god, free Luka, bro. Free Luka, my nigga. Luka's going through the same shit Dame's going through on a little bit less of a he's going through the same shit Dame's going through. The only thing is Luka's a kid. Luka's a fucking kid. How old is Luka? Luka Doncic's age. The nigga's 22. The nigga's 2 years older than me. You know what I'm saying? So, wait, damn, bro. Damn, they got finesse.
The trade that transpired.
They got finesse.
With Dallas Mavericks sending over Kristaps Porzingis and a second-round pick to the Washington Wizards, and in return, they received, get this, Spencer Dinwiddie and David.
Yo, these niggas stupid as fuck. These niggas stupid as fuck. Yo.
Turn, they received, get this, Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans, which is mind-blowing and questionable to say the least. Now, first, we have the Washington Wizards, who I understand why they traded for Porzingis. Granted, there are a lot of red flags with Porzingis, but I believe the potential rewards will outweigh the risk, especially because the only things that they gave up were 2 role players that weren't even fulfilling their roles on the team.
Oh my god, we gotta look at Davis Bertans now. Cause they paid this nigga like $17-18 million to shoot. This nigga's a shooter that can't shoot. Yo, this shit has to be the worst. I don't know. I think this might be the worst trade.
That I give the Wizards a B. Now, the other hand, with the Dallas Mavericks, man, this is so questionable.
I'm sorry. This trade is just so fucking funny, dog. This trade is just fucking hilarious. This trade is just fucking hilarious. Why? I just want to know why. Like, I actually just want to know why. Was Kristaps' trade value not? Is Kristaps' trade value just not high? Like, I want to know. Like, I want to know, bro. I want to fucking know.
By so many metrics.
Is Spencer Dinwiddie actually that?
The amount of money that he's making, as well as his injury history, makes all the sense in the world that they should have moved on without him. But the reason why this is such a head scratcher is because what they receive in return. A returning trade package of Dinwiddie.
Oh my god.
So insignificant that I just would have stayed packing, hope for the best for Porzingis and Luka moving forward. Because if you're unaware, Spencer Dinwiddie is arguably the worst starting point guard in the NBA, and Bertans is no longer a consistent three-point shooter. Now, you can easily make an argument that if he's on a team with Luka Doncic, that he'll get better looks because Luka is way better at morphing defenses than anybody out in Washington.
Yeah.
And that is fair, but it's really the only bright spot that I see in this transaction because even if that were to happen, the amount of money that he's getting paid.
Oh my god. Look how much money this nigga's making, bro. For this. Man, this nigga. Oh my god. This is sad. This man is shooting 5.7 points. Shooting 4 threes a game. On 30. Look at this. 40%, 37%, 43%, 42%, 39%. What the fuck is this, nigga? What the... what the fuck? This nigga is ass, booty, butthole, monkey juice, bro. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Your bases still makes him an overpaid role player. And
so much overpaid. So much overpaid. Holy shit.
Because of that, even if I were to be optimistic, the best thing that I can give Dallas is a C-. And finally, we have the teams that didn't do anything at all this trading deadline. Now, some of them, it's hard to be critical. Teams like the Miami Heat and the Golden State Warriors find themselves at the top of their respective conferences. And honestly, outside of the Warriors not finding a quality option to play at the 5, which
that's I do want to discuss that just because the Warriors are my favorite team. I see what they're trying to do with James Wiseman. They want to make sure they're good for the future. And James Wiseman definitely has that potential to be that sort of player. But are y'all sure that he can help y'all win now? Like that's the question. Like, are y'all sure? Because when he played, he was all right, but it wasn't like, oh, he's him. You know what I'm saying? Are y'all sure that James Wiseman can help us win now when he comes back? I'm positive. I'm positive he'll have a positive impact on the Warriors playing. But is James Wiseman the missing piece to us winning a championship? Because I've been saying this for a while now. The NBA is transitioning to a skilled big man era. Nigga, the top three MVPs are big men. Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis. All skilled big men in their own respective way. You know? So that is one thing about my Warriors team where it's like, okay, if we go up against the Nuggets, who's gonna stop Jokic? But then who there is gonna stop Curry and Clay? You know what I'm saying? In the finals, who's gonna stop Giannis? Who's gonna stop Embiid? You know, but that's for those matchups. You know, even the Suns, DeAndre Ayton. I feel like Draymond might be able to guard DeAndre Ayton. Not might be able to. Draymond could definitely guard DeAndre Ayton better than Joel Embiid, because it's Joel Embiid, it's Jokic. You know what I'm saying? They're the best centers in the league. It's Giannis, one of the best players in the league. I got Kevin Durant as the most skilled player in the league, as the best player in the league. But
inevitable matchup against the Phoenix Suns in the playoffs, I personally don't have that much to say at all for two teams that have been really good so far this season. Now, on the other hand, if you are a franchise that has been a
y'all already know how I feel about the Lakers. Y'all already know how I feel about the motherfucking Lakers, bro. The most sorry fucking team in the past decade. The most sorry fucking team since the NBA started 75 years ago. I'm not even a Lakers fan. And Lakers fans make me fucking furious. Because the second they traded for Westbrook, literally the second they traded for Westbrook, I was like, damn, this probably not. And I didn't have a YouTube channel. The friends I talk to, they don't really talk basketball. And the ones that do talk basketball, we just troll some shit, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really have no one to talk to basketball serious with, you know? But this trade was destined to not fucking work, bro. This trade was destined to not fucking work. I guarantee y'all, Lakers wish they re-signed Caruso for $9 million a year. That was too much. $9 million a year was too much for Caruso, but y'all was willing to offer a shooter like $20 million a year. I don't fucking know. And then y'all trade all of your depth. Like, literally, you trade all of your trade assets. You don't have one single trade asset. And you know how I know you don't have one single trade asset? Because y'all didn't make one single move during the trade deadline. Y'all didn't make one move. You know why? Because don't nobody want nobody on the fucking Lakers. The Lakers are trash. The only people that teams would want on the Lakers are LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And the only way teams would be able to get them is if they're, one, a free agent, and two, if they request a trade to that location. And you tell me if LeBron's going to request a trade somewhere. I mean, with the way the Lakers are playing, he just fucking might. God damn. Because who are they going to trade? They can't trade nobody. They can't trade Westbrook. Who wants Westbrook? Who wants Westbrook? They can't trade THT. Who wants THT? Lakers fans, really. No, not Lakers fans. Cause y'all gonna gas the fuck out of THT. Who wants THT? Austin Reeves. Who wants Austin Reeves? DeAndre Jordan. Who wants DeAndre Jordan? Wayne Ellington. Y'all niggas got Wayne Ellington. Y'all niggas got Stanley Johnson playing. If Stanley Johnson is playing 20 plus minutes on your team, y'all not winning a championship. You're not winning a championship. If Stanley Johnson has to play 20 plus minutes on your team, you're not winning a fucking championship. You're just not. That's if you see Stanley Johnson playing 20 plus minutes on the team, that team is 99.9% rebuilding.
Massive disappointment this season, and you still didn't do anything at all this trading deadline. Well, I have no other choice but to look at you as losers. And that franchise I'm referring to,
big losers. Holy fuck.
Are the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I'm not someone that believed in the Russell Westbrook being traded for really anyone. The odds that they were going to be able to pull that off was very slim, and I don't believe the returns of the Lakers would have gotten it.
One thing about this trade, I do feel like John Wall might be willing to put his ego aside more than Westbrook, but they very, very similar players. I would say the main difference is that Westbrook gets more rebounds, But other than that, they're very, very similar players. And that just makes no fucking sense. Why would the Rockets trade for Westbrook again? Use your fucking brain. That's why I don't understand NBA fans, bro. NBA fans, they just don't use their brain. They just imagine something and they're like, oh, this would be hard. We can trade so-and-so for so-and-so. Like, no, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. And it's not like I'm okay with players saying, oh, we should trade so-and-so for so-and-so. That's fine. But when that trading so-and-so for so-and-so makes no fucking sense in any universe, like, shut your mouth, bro. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. Shut up.
And would have done much of anything anyway. However, what I do find very interesting is during a trade deadline where teams like the Pacers and Blazers are practically giving away quality role players to any team that is willing to give them cap flexibility, a first rounder, and or some young assets, the Lakers still could not land anything during the deadline. Furthermore, even if I were a bit more forgiving and understanding and came to the conclusion that possibly THT, Austin Reeves, Kendrick Nunn just didn't have that much value in the open market and nobody was really interested in a 2027 first rounder, I still would come to the conclusion that the Lakers are losers during this trade deadline because they put themselves in a situation where they didn't have any asset flexibility, no draft picks, no quality young players, and majority of the contracts that they have on their team are just one-year rentals. And P.S., this is yet again another concern that many people like myself attempted to highlight during the offseason when the Lakers traded for Russell Westbrook. Because the level of commitment that any team would have to take when trading for Westbrook goes beyond what happens on the floor. You no longer have any flexibility in terms of what you can or cannot do for your cap space. So yeah, I still give the Lakers a big fat F.
Fat F. I want to look at something, right? Lakers. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Jesus fucking Christ. We gonna do some math. We gonna do some math right now, y'all. We gonna do some motherfucking math. 47 plus 44.4 plus 37.9. Fam. The three of them are making 129 mil this year. The three of them. Whenever there's a super team that gets formed, unless it's my team, because I'm going to gas the fuck up my team, I don't give a fuck who's on the team. The Memphis Grizzlies are the greatest team to ever exist. They're better than the 96-97 Bulls. They're better than the 2016-27 Warriors. They're better than any team you fucking talk about. John Morant's the greatest point guard of all time. He got Magic Johnson vision. He got Curry shooting. He got Iverson, Kyrie handles. You know what I'm saying? He's got Ja finishing. You know what I'm saying? He's a GOAT. He's a motherfucking GOAT. Stop playing with the nigga, bro. But the Lakers are fucking ass.
But hey, those are just my thoughts. Please let me know what you think about the video in the comment section below. What are your grades for some of these transactions that just happened during the NBA trade deadline? Also, if you want my thoughts on some of the other transactions, because a lot of things occurred, you can go to my second channel, or you can even watch me on Twitch, where I was live streaming the trading deadline and other big moments that happens throughout the NBA season. So if I'm not uploading here, more than likely I'm just on a different platform. And until next time, I'll see you all later. Peace.
Hey, W vid for low. Not even for low. That was just the W vid. I agree with most of what he said. I think there's a couple trades in there that we may have disagreed with, like with the rankings and everything. But honestly, most of what he said was facts. I agree with it, definitely. I definitely agree.